All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Building from Templates in Prezi Present. I'm Jules, one of the trainers here at Prezi, and today I'll guide you through what is Prezi Present, how you can create your own presentation from a template, how to add your content, how to present, share, and much more. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to write them in the Q&A, or you can also write any comments in the chat, and I'll make sure to get to your questions today. All right. Hello everyone. Saying hi in the chat. If I'm looking this way, just to my other monitor, checking out the chat and the Q&A. I have launched a poll asking what is your level of experience with Prezi Present. We have mostly 0, but some people have tried it. All right, we'll get to everything today. Okay, I'm just going to end the poll for now. Okay. So I will start sharing my screen and show you what we're going to be building towards today. Let me just rearrange my windows here. Okay, sharing my desktop and let's go. All right, so I will pop this on to presenter mode. And we're going to be building a presentation. We're going to fully transform a certain template to this presentation here for this mock company called PayHut, just mock company we use here at Prezi for training purposes. And I'm going to show you how you can customize things such as the background, text, font, colors, add your own content, and how you can zoom into certain areas like that to focus your audience's attention on specific things, such as like things like that. And also I'll show you how you can add a video, some icons, move things around, change colors. Also how you can use story blocks such as this map we have here, and then how to add some fading animations. And then lastly, how you can remove background of your images and also create a topic such as this one, where you can dive in and review your content and go through your topics like that. All right, so this is what we're going to be creating today. Let me just pop out here, but let's start from the beginning by going to prezi.com. Once you log in, you're going to see your dashboard and all of our products on the top. So our presentation tool, our data visualization tool, and our video tool, and the same on the left side. You might see it slightly different here. Instead of Prezi Present, Prezi Video, Prezi Design, you might see it as presentations, video, and infographics. That's all the same, okay? And then from the dashboard as well, you're going to have access to a personal library, and this is where you can save any images, videos, topics, text, and so on inside Prezi, and then reuse it inside the platform as well. Okay, so let's focus here on the Prezi Present dashboard. You're going to see a lot of my presentations here, but once you have created your own presentations, you'll find them all here on the dashboard. You have a few options when you're hovering over each presentation, but also from the search bar, you can search from any titles of your presentation. And here you can also filter through the owners to make it easier to find specific presentations. Now we can go here to create from templates. This is where we're starting today. That's going to take us to the template chooser. And here you have hundreds of templates available to you that you can explore. You can click on it and preview by going through the arrows. You can see how they look like, how to navigate it. Just know that everything in all of these templates, they are completely customizable, so you do not have to worry. You can use certain parts of it. You can change the colors, fonts, images, and so on. So there's a lot to explore here. Today, let me find a template to start from. Just gonna go, let's see, with this one here. And then I'll just click on use this template. Humphrey is asking, will the recording be sent to participants? Yes, everyone will receive the recording in 24 hours in your email. Okay, so to get started from the editor, first, you're going to see that this background sidebar pops up. I'm going to close it for now, but we'll get back to it later. So I'll just give you a quick overview of the editor before we start editing our template here. First, I would usually recommend that you change the title of your presentation to something that's going to help you to find it later on your dashboard. So on the top left corner, you can see now it says untitled presentation. So you don't have a lot of untitled presentations. Let's just name it to maybe PayHut onboarding, because that's what we're going to be creating today. And also next to the title on the left side, you're going to find this hamburger menu. And there are several shortcuts that you can use inside the editor here, but I would recommend you to go to navigation. And from here, you can set which navigation way you would use in Prezi. So if you're using only a mouse, you can set it here, or a trackpad, or both, like I am doing. And here, if you click on learn more, that is going to show you how you can use shortcuts to navigate inside the Prezi editor. So I highly recommend that you check that out, so you know how to best navigate here in the editor. And besides that, you're going to find in the bottom a navigation toolbar. So here first, as a default, you have the select tool on, and that's going to allow you to move things around. And then the second option is the hand tool that is going to allow you to pan around the canvas and not select anything. So I usually, myself, I leave the select tool as default, and then I use the navigation shortcuts to pan around and select things. So the navigation shortcuts that we've seen before here from the hamburger menu. And besides that, back to the navigation bar in the bottom, from here, you can use the arrows to preview your content inside the editor. So you can go through all of the frames that come with this template. With the home button, you can go back to the overview. And the zooming here is showing you how zoomed in you are in your presentation. So right now we're almost 300% zoomed in. And if I click on it, it just goes back to 100. All right, so besides that, here on the editor on the top, you have the main menu, and that's where you can bring contents to your presentation. Style, you can change background, colors, text, and so on. Frame, this is how you're going to focus your audience's attentions to specific parts of your presentation. How you can add text. Media, you have many things such as images, videos, GIFs, PowerPoint, charts, and so on. Shapes, you can also add shapes to highlight something. Story blocks, these are pre-designed content that we're going to check out later today. And then from the 3 dots, more here is where you can add topics as well, animation, comments, presenter notes, and here you can access your library. To the right side, here you can add collaborators if you are on a team account. If you want to add anybody to also edit this presentation, you can do so from here. Here you can preview, present, and also go to the presenter view if you have added some presenter notes, and also record a Prezi video from here. Lastly, this is the share button. From here, you can create a link to share with other people. We're going to cover this towards the end. Export to PDF, create a broadcast link, and again, collaborators. And then here on the left side of the canvas, you're going to see this timeline that shows how you're going to navigate through the presentation. You can see that all of the content so far has a zoom to frame. Once you hover over it, you can see on the canvas that it has this green highlight, and you can also click on it to zoom in to that portion of content. You can see that usually the presentation starts from this overview, and then the first, and then it zooms in here, the next one, and so on. You can change the order by selecting, dragging, and dropping on the timeline on the left side. And then you can see that the numbers change. And you can delete here at any point, set as a starting point, add presenter notes, and so on. These timeline is also, you can also retract it, so you can have more space for editing, but I think it's also always useful to see when you add more content where it's placed on the timeline, because this is going to define the order and flow of your presentation. See a question. How do you add your company's branding? Great question. So if you are on a Teams license, you have access to the brand kit. So you can set a brand kit from your dashboard here. And with the brand kit, you can add your logo, your font, and your brand's color. And then on style, you can go to brand kit. And then you can select from your brand kit here. So you can have as many brand kits as you want. So for example, if I apply my pay hut, it's going to customize the current template to the brand's colors and also add the logo here on the lower left side. And then of course you can still move things around. It's also going to create a color palette. Here, pay hut. So I could also change any of the colors. I can move things around. And now anything I select on the canvas, when I go to the color option, you're going to have this scheme colors, and then easily I can change the colors of anything here. So it's a really quick way of customizing your presentation to your brand's needs. And then of course you can also always tweak it after. All right. You're welcome. Okay, so let's start customizing this template. One thing I want to highlight is that in this newer iteration of Prezi that we have launched in November, some things have changed. I already showed some of those to you, but also now we have this limitless zooming canvas. Sorry, let me delete this PayHut logo that it didn't go away. So you can zoom in and out as much as you want, pan around. Just know that what your audience is going to see is what's inside this overview frame here. And you can always resize it, so you can make it larger or smaller. And also a lot of our templates, they come with extra assets here on the side. So you could just drag them to the presentation and use them however you want as well. So you can take advantage of all of these extra assets that you can find it here, okay? Okay, so to start customizing this, first, from this template that I'm using, I have this grid in the background. This is a locked item. I don't want to use it for this presentation today. And what you're going to see is that from any of our templates, there's going to be an amount of assets, and you can definitely use them, but also you can delete and customize to your needs. And today I'm not going to need this grid in the background, which is a sort of background, so it can be useful. But I'm just going to unlock it here. And now I can move around, and I'm going to just delete it, okay? And then what I usually like to do as well is to delete some of the content that I'm not going to use. So today we're only going to create 3 pieces of content. So I'm not going to need all of these placeholders. So I'm just going to delete some of these. I'm gonna select some, drag, drop, and delete. I think I'll keep this as here and this one. So I'm not going to use. And then I'm just going to select everything and redistribute it on the canvas. Oops. Actually, I already have one here. I'm going to keep this one. And let's move this around. Okay, so something else that can be useful is that you can see that we already have some pre-existing frames here that it's going to allow us to zoom into that content. Sometimes I like to just delete them and then start from scratch and then add my own frames. So I'm just going to do that so you can see. And then you're going to see that once I delete the frames, they're going to also disappear here from the left sidebar. And the frames won't delete the content, only the zooming area itself. And soon I'm going to re-add the frames. I just want to show you how you can delete them and then add them again. Okay, so let's start by just changing the title of our presentation, which you can just double click to any existing text. Here we're going to talk about employee onboarding. You can easily resize the text box, and also this is going to make the text larger or smaller. You can move it around. Here I'm just going to delete the subtitle. I don't need it. And I'm just going to bring it here to the bottom. Let's just bring this to the front. And I also want to add a shape to the back just to highlight my text here. So I'm going to just go to shape, get a rectangle, and create something here. And just send it to the back. I'm going to customize this to my brand's color because right now it doesn't look at all like PayHut. So let's add first the brand's logo by going to image. So from here, you can upload an image from your computer, from the cloud, or you can also search in our Unsplash library for anything here. You can also use the GIFs, stickers, and icons as well. For the logo, I'm just going to upload from my computer. Let's find the PayHut logo here. And I'm just gonna place it on the top. And now you can see how these templates color do not match my brand. So let's fix that. Again, going back to style, we can go to colors. I could apply the brand kit directly, but I want to show you how you can customize if you're not on a team license. You will have access, let me scroll back, let me scroll down to the default palettes. So here, you can use any of these. They are pre-created, pre-designed. They have a good amount of contrast between their colors. And you can also edit them. So you could change any of the colors as well. You can use this eyedropper and select any colors on your computer. Or you can also paste a hex code here. Another thing you can do is just go to create new. And from here, you can upload a certain image that has your brand colors or whatever colors you want to use. You could upload them from here. It could be a logo as it's suggesting or something else. So if I upload my PayHut logo, it has 2 to 3 colors and it's going to populate as well the colors here, which you can still change it. I don't have a background image here. I'm actually going to insert one, but if I click here, it would pick up the main colors of my background. And then you can give it a name, save it, and this is going to be accessible at any time later. I already have my PayHut color scheme here. So, okay, it's already applied, perfect. Now I'm just going to add my background image here, and then we're going to continue customizing our content. So you can have just a color in the background, but you can also take advantage of the background image or different colors. For colors, you could just go here to, instead of a solid fill, you can also use a linear gradient. So I could select my brand colors and have a linear gradient, also use the radial gradient. So really up to you. I'm just going to upload an image, but you can also search for something in the Unsplash library. It can be a certain color or a certain theme. So let's say talking about onboarding. It's really up to you. What I would recommend is that you choose an image that has a little bit of a negative space, meaning a certain amount of space that you can place your content on, and that is something that is not too distracting. So any of these would work. You can use something a little bit more graphic or abstract. You can search for just background here or abstract, or if you have a certain colors, you can do that. If you are uploading an image, I would recommend that is a higher quality image, just because we are usually zooming into certain portions. So if it's a low quality, it's going to be pixelated. So right now it's still loading the background, but I'll show you that once it's loaded. Yeah, you can, in this image, you can zoom in and it's not going to be pixelated. Okay, so let's continue customizing here. I want to actually customize this shape that I've created. I don't want it to be solid fill. I'm going to change it to a linear gradient. And let's make it from blue to this bright green. And I actually don't want to go from top to bottom. I want to go left to right. So let's just make it a little bit smaller and rotate it. That's a trick. You can use it. And now I have moved things around a little bit. I have here my shape fading here, like that. Actually, I think I want to keep my text. Let's find it here. I want to keep my text all white. So there you go. Now it's updated. See another question. What if you need more frames than the template comes with initially? You can add a frame at any point. So before I deleted them, but you can add anywhere at any time. If you want, of course, you might want to just use these shapes as a default and create more of these. What I recommend is just select them and you can copy and paste, or you can use Control D or Command D to duplicate any content you use. Here, for example, if I want to add more content, there's not a lot of space. So what I can do, it's either select everything and make it smaller, and that's going to give me more space to create, okay? Or what you can do is just make your frame larger, and then you get all of this space, and then you can continue to just duplicating and adding more frames, and you can, of course, customize either all of them individually. So that is an option for creating more content or adding. You can add as many frames as you want, okay? Okay, so let's start customizing each of these pieces of content. And now I'm going to add a frame here. You can drop the frame anywhere you want, or you can draw as well. Just know that the size is standard 16 by 9, because that's the standard size of most screens. And you can see that it's on the left side, it's waiting for me to draw the frame. So let's just do that. And now we can zoom in here. Okay. I am not going to use the scroll because that's not a theme here. I can reuse this arrow after. What I do like to do when I'm creating content is you're going to see that we have a lot of different contents here. You have this number, you have the text here. These are grouped elements. I have my background shape. And sometimes if I'm moving things around, I might move the shape in the back. So I usually like to right click on it and lock. And now this way I cannot select it by mistake, and I'm not going to move the shape in the background, okay? So this is just a tip, you can do that. Actually, before I lock it, I do want to customize a little bit more. And I'm just gonna go to change from solid fill to linear gradient again. Just to customize a little bit. There you go. And I'm going to lock it. Here, I'm just going to change it to our vision. And here I'm going to delete the content because I want to add an image from my computer. So let's go to media, image. And I'm going to upload this mockup, this web mockup, because I want my clients to see my web page. And to help them to understand that this is a web page, I want to add a laptop frame around it, but I don't have any background in design. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to use one of our story blocks, which you can access up here from the main menu. And here you have several options of things you can bring to your presentation. All of these, they are just grouped elements which you can customize. You can ungroup. You can select certain parts of it only. You can change colors, images, text, and so on. So I'm just gonna choose this laptop here. And you're going to see that it has an image, it has text. I don't need all of these, I just need the frame. So I'm going to click here on ungroup. And now I can just remove the laptop frame and I'm going to delete these ones here. Let's make it a little bit larger and let's bring this one to the front. And let's place it somewhere around here. Okay. Not gonna be perfect, I could spend more time, but I think this works. And now I'm just going to select both of them together and group them. So now they are one image and I can easily resize it, move it around. I can also, if I want to reuse this later on, just right click, add to my library, and then it's going to be available from the three dots menu, my library. I can reuse this at any time it's saved here. Okay, so now I want to maybe add something to make this a little bit more visual. Let's add an icon. Since we're talking about vision, let's just search for an eye here. And then, actually, this one's better. I'm just going to make it white, so blend in with my font color. Make it white. Something simple like that. And then I want my audience to be able to read whatever is written here. So I'm just going to add another frame and I'm going to draw it here. You can see it also here on the left timeline. And let's say I want to also add a frame here. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And let's move into the second portion of content. Again, I'm going to add a frame here. And I'm also going to customize a little bit this shape, make it linear gradient. And let's make it mostly ring. And now I'm just going to lock it into place. And this one, let's see, I'm not going to use this one and I don't need the arrow as well. This one, I'm going to use it later. So let's set it to the side. And here, let's just rename this to culture. Excuse me. And I do want to use some of this text. So let's just move it a little bit. I'm going to add here a video. So if you want to add videos, you can do so from media, video. And here you can upload videos in MP4 from your computer. But we do recommend that it's not above 50 megabytes or it can make your presentations too slow. And you can also embed something from YouTube. Just make sure that you have access when you are presenting. Okay, so let's leave it loading for a second, and I'm going to just customize a little bit of text. Let's just copy and paste to make it faster. My internet's a little bit slow. Usually doesn't take that long to upload the video. Okay, we don't need this one. And then we can easily move things around. I don't know why it's not loading. I'm just gonna tilt this a little bit. Let's leave it loading for a second here. And let's see what else we can bring it. So let's bring this little icon a little bit closer. We can rotate it a little bit. Oops. And place it here. And also I'll leave this one here. Let's see what else. I think that's okay for now. And yeah, there you go. Have the video. You can also add a frame to it by adding a shape. So up to you if you want to highlight a little bit more your video, you can do that. Maybe not much. And we can bring this video to the front. And let's rotate a little bit. That's just an easy way to create a little bit of a frame to your video here. And what you're going to notice that when you have a video inserted, it creates a zoom to video on the left side. And that is going to make the video go full screen. If you don't want it to go to full screen, you can just delete it from here. And then it's just going to play on screen. Okay. And then let's go to our last piece of content. I don't need these icons, so let's just delete. Let's move this a little bit around. I think I'm just going to make it a little bit larger here. And let's add a frame. And zoom in there. Now we're going to talk about our team. And now I want to add a story block of a map. So I want to add a map here. Before that, let's quickly customize this one as before. And let's lock it into place. And let's go to story blocks. Here I want to add a map. So let's search for a map. There you go. I won't need the text, so I'm just going to delete the text. And let's maintain the map. So here, if I want to, let's also lock this one. So if I want to make it larger, I can do that. And then I can also change the colors. Something like this, a little bit smaller. And I'm going to just add some text here, and then I'm going to add in some fading animation. So let's say USA. Let's freeze. What is the font? 22. And then Australia. All right, and now I want to say where each location is. So let's put a number 1 here in the US. And to make it a little bit more highlighted, let's give it a background color. And of course, let's change it here. Something like that. And now I'm just going to add an animation from here. You can see add animation. And I'm going to add a fading. You'll see that it appears here on the timeline. I think actually make it a little bit transparent like that. And then I'm just going to duplicate by doing Control D or Command D. And I'm going to move this to Europe, Greece. And then lastly, move it down here to Australia. So we have all of the fading animations here on the left timeline, left side timeline. And what I want to add here as well is a little bit of a topic that I can dive into and talk about my team. So let's go to the three dots menu. We have two types of topics here in Prezi. One is the planet topic that allows you to create subtopics inside. And the second is the page topic that allows you to create pages inside where you go in a more linear fashion from one page to the next, more similar to a slide presentation. Whereas a planet topic, you zoom in to zoom out of all of those subtopics. So let's just go with a page topic here. And I want to customize this cover. Instead of having a shape and a text, I want to have an image here. So let's just right click, go to advanced topic editing, and I'm going to delete the text, and I'm going to delete also the selected shape. And I still have my topic zoom area here. And inside, I'm just going to place an image, and that's going to be my topic cover. Let's zoom in a little bit. And here I'm going to use the background removal tool. Once I select the image, once it's loaded, I have this option up here to remove background. And then I'll just trim a little bit the sides. Just click on trim, make it a little bit smaller. And now that's my new background, sorry, my new topic cover. So if I double click on it, I zoom into my newly created topic. Just going to place this under here so they have a place to stand on. So let's go into the topic. And let's create here our team. So meet your team. Oh my God, I'm not awake yet. Okay, let's add an image. I'm just going to search for employee. Let's go with this one. And then again, I'm going to remove the backgrounds. Of course, depends what image you have. Some images will work better than others. This one is fine. And then I'm just going to create some effect here by duplicating, and let's give it a color. And let's send this to the back. And now we just have a nice little effect. And let's give it a name. So let's say Julie customer success. Let's center it. Give it a background. Something like that. Then maybe we can also add sticker, go team, something like that. Oops. And here I could also create some effect. I don't know. Let's see what we can do. Something like that. And then to make my life easier, since I do have another employee to introduce, instead of creating a new page from scratch, this is how it would look like. I can just go here to the three dots and then duplicate. And now I can just redo it. So let's say Christine, she's a senior HR partner, and let's find our other employee here. Would be a woman, I guess, because she's called Christine. And again, we can customize this image by going to remove the background. And then let's crop it a little bit so we're not selecting it by mistake. And again, if you want, you can do that little effect to duplicate, Control D, and then just change the color a little bit. Have this sort of shadow. So this is how it's gonna look like. So we have this very seamless, what is the effect? Yeah, way of navigating from one to the other. Transition, that's the word I was looking for. This very seamless transition from one to the other. Okay, so how it's looking like, I do want to add a zoom out in the end. Otherwise, the presentation is going to end inside our topic. So I'm just gonna go to the 3 dots animation and add a zoom out in the end. Where did it go? Zoom to overview. Okay, and let me show you how it's looking like. So if I go to present, my presentation starts here. I click forward on my keyboard, arrows, forward, and this is all being controlled by me, so I can take as long as I want in each portion of the content. I'm gonna play the video. And then here we're going to have the, oops, sorry, I placed the topic. Yeah, the topic should go after. So let's do that again. Let's go back to the previous one. Okay, so from the video, it's gonna go to the topic. Or not. Oops, something has happened with the video here. Let me just delete this. I don't know, what is it? Okay, looks like this presentation is, something happened. So let's just preview here. Okay, I think, no. Let me refresh. Zoom in, go to the next. I'm gonna go here. The video is gonna play on camera because I deleted the zoom to video, because there was some bug there. And then I have my fading animations, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to zoom into the topic, the next one, and then we're going to zoom out to the overview, okay? So that's for presenting. If you do want to add any presenter notes, you can add at any point. So any of the frames, you can go to presenter notes here. So let's say I want to add some overview notes, and you're going to see a little notepad next to the timeline. So let's say if I want here to add our vision notes as well. And one notes. So I'm adding all of these notes. And once I'm presenting, I can go here to presenter view, and I'm going to have this extra window. So if I'm sharing my screen, you would share only this tab or window in the back. Do not share your full desktop like I'm doing right now. And then you're going to have this window on top where your audience can see it, and you can see your current view, your audience's view. You can have your notes, you can have a timer here, and then you can have your next frame of content that you can go through here. And it's also going to guide your audience's attention at the same time. Then you're always going to have your notes that you have added here. So this is how you would control the presentation. Okay. All right, and then if you're ready to share the presentation, you can do so from the top right corner button here. Click on Get Link. Here you can create as many links as you would like to, and you can give it a name. So this is only for your records. People cannot see what you're writing here. But let's say I'm giving this link to the HR team. I can also require viewer name and email if I want for more privacy. And here is the link that you're going to give it to them. And if you make any updates to the presentation, this is going to be updated in the link as well. You do not need to create a new link. And then they can go through the presentation in their own time. Okay. If you want, you can also deactivate this link at any point. If it's not relevant anymore, you can do that. And you can create more links here as well. And then if you want to add collaborators, as I've mentioned in the beginning, you can do so from here. You just add their email here and give them different levels of access. All right, any questions before I jump into the last portion? Are we able to record ourselves going through the presentation? Yes. And to collaborators in the Prezi account, yes, collaborators do need to have a Prezi account to only visualize the link. So to share it, they don't need to, but to make any comments, edits, or to present, they do need a Prezi account. About the record ourselves, Tricia, do you want to be on camera or do you want to just record a video with a voiceover? Either way, you can do that, record a video from Present, record as video, okay, on camera. And then you have both options if you want to only narrate, so you're not going to be on camera. And the second option is to appear alongside your content. If you click here, it's right sidebar, and give access to your camera. And what you want here is, of course, this content we have created for full screen. You would want to create the content that is, sorry, my crisp is up. You're going to create a content that the content is more to the side, and I can actually show you how that would work. So we do have another session on that as well. So here you can preview, and then you would have to create a content. Let me search. It would be something like that. Optimized for video. So as you can see, all of the content is more to the right side, and even on my frames, I have space here for the presenter and my content is on the right side. So if I would go here, record this video. You can see that the content is optimized for video, and then I can go on and record my content here. And then you could record here on the web, but I would recommend that you record on Prezi Video because the quality is much better than doing so on the web. The Prezi Video app is free. You can download here from Prezi Video all the way here in the bottom. And you can download it here, and then you can create your presentation on the web, but then you can record the video on the app. Okay, so lastly, from the dashboard, once you have your presentation, you have some options. Once you hover over it, from here, you can directly present. Here you can edit, again, record a video, some extra settings. And from the three dots, you have also some options here. Sharing and privacy, export to PDF, download, add to a folder, make a copy, delete, and so on. Okay. All right, we still have a few minutes left. I'll stay here if there are any other questions, but if not, thank you for joining. You will receive a recording 24 hours in your email, so you can always go back to it and watch it. I hope this was useful, and thank you for joining. And if you have any other questions, I'll hang out here a few minutes to answer, but if not, thank you for joining. Bye. How can you pull a regular PowerPoint over to Prezi? Okay, you can do that from the media PowerPoint here, and you can upload something. What it's going to do is that it's going to create some frames, and then you can bring it to your presentation. And you can still remove the background of the PowerPoint, and you can customize around it as well. So I'll just quickly show you some examples. So for example, here, if I click on insert, you can see it's going to create some frames for me like that. And if you want, once you select the PowerPoint slide, you can click here on hide slide background. So it looks a little bit more seamless. And then of course, you can always move things around as well. You can add some other things here. So you could add more things to your frame. And you can move the frames, place them somewhere else, okay? Can we have more story blocks on the same frame? Yes, of course. If you add a frame here, let's zoom in, and then you can add as many story blocks as you want. You can just resize them. I'm just gonna choose some random ones, but yeah, you can add as many as you want. And of course you can customize it, so you can still ungroup, delete some things. So you don't need to use every aspect of each story block. Can you go live with the presentation? Yes. So with using also, we cover in another session better. But anything you create here, you can go live on a video call like we're doing right now. You just have to then open it on the Prezi video app. Can we create charts or tables in Prezi? Yes, we do have the charts option. I'm running out of space here. Let me delete some things. From media, can go to chart, and we have some options here. So let's say if I add this one here, it's not too advanced, but sorry, we have some options. And then of course you can go to edit, add your own data here. You can of course add some frames around and add some zooming areas. You can upload a file here and so on. And table-wise, besides that, we do have some options as story blocks. We have here tables, but it's not too advanced. So, but you could add as a chart as well. And a reminder, in Prezi Design, we do have many more options of charts. So you could create something in Prezi Design. Here we have several charts in Prezi. You can add to your library and then bring it to Prezi Present as well, and tables and so on. So here you can see that we have very many different types of charts available. And then you can just right click, add to your library, or you can export as a PNG, PDF, GIF, and so on. Okay, any other questions? You're welcome. All right, if you have any other questions later, you can always find it on the 3 dots menu here. We have our knowledge base, which you can access. Also, you can send us an email at training@prezi.com if you have any questions, and our support team can help you. And thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for all your questions, and I hope this was useful and that you can get started using our templates, and have a great